I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as I can. We'll see if we could finish it in the prescribed hour and a half. If you have any questions, please stop me. All right? So this first question here, -3 squared plus -2 squared. Well, you know, a square is a number that multiplied by itself. So that is -3 multiplied by -3. And a negative will give you a positive. 3 3s are 9 plus 2 2s are 4. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The answer is positive 13. Let me know if you don't understand. This is the one question that has take up residence in every paper one. You probably will see it in your paper one as well. The thing with this question is that it's a word game, right? It's not asking you to find 40% of 8. It's not asking you to find 8% of 40. A lot of people would make those mistakes. No, they're asking you what percentage. So what percentage of 40 is 8? So you can see that and that gone there. I could throw this across to get x over 10 is equal to 8 divided by 4, which is 2, and then throw the 10 across to get x is equal to 10 multiplied by 2, which is 20%. When 0.45 and look, we getting into decimals and thing. I remember the last time we did decimals and thing was last June. This was at the beginning, you know, is when we looked over things like decimals and things. So we didn't do this in a while, right? Especially for those new students, you wouldn't have been here when we did this, right? But don't worry, we're starting over in June again. When 0.45 is written as a common fraction in its simplest form, the result is simplest form. So when you have 0.45, you put your vinculum. Where the point is where you put your 1, and then each number will give you a 0. So that is 45 over 100. Right? Now, I could tell that 45 over 100 is pretty much half. Yeah? It's pretty much half. It is pretty just less than half. Right? So 4 over 5, for example, that is not less than half. Right? 9 over 10 is not less than half. 5 over 4 is not less than half. But you could easily see that 9 over 20 is just a little less than half. And of course, 5 9s are 45, and 5 into 20 will give you 9 over 20. So you could have done the divide to get 9 over 20, or you could have used reasoning to say, well, you know, this is really just less than half. This is the only answer that is less than half. If you have any questions, please let me know. We have this here. If 235 multiplied by 48.7 is equal to that, then what is 2.35? You can see the numbers are the same. So when we are dealing with a multiplication that involves decimals, you count the decimal places. So notice this question has 1 decimal place, and so therefore the answer has 1 decimal place. It is that easy. So when they say, well, what is this then? You count the amount of decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just look for the answer that has 4 decimal places, and A is your answer. It is that easy. It's just about decimal places. A test was marked out of 80. A boy scored 60%. So 60% of 80, right? Of the marks on the test, how many marks did he score? So that is 60% of 80, which is 48. 6 times 8 is 48. Number 6, Dan sold 40 tickets. And this one was a little bit tricky. I actually used algebra to figure out this one. Yeah? But you tell me if you know any other method to figure this out. I use algebra to figure this out, but I just use algebra to figure out everything, because algebra is a skill that does allow you to figure out everything, right? So Dan sold 40 concert tickets in 5 days. All right. So 40 tickets in 5 days. All right. Each day he sold 3 tickets more than the previous day. Interesting. So he have 1, 2, 3. All right. So let me count it like this. The first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, and the fifth day. All right. What is the ratio of the number of tickets sold on the third day to the number of tickets sold on the fifth day? Interesting question. This is what Sabira would refer to as a beautiful question, right? Sabira, how did you work this out?
I use algebra too.
You use algebra. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't know how much on the first day, so we'll put X on the first day. And we are told that every day he sold 3 tickets more than the previous day. So that means that on day 2, he also sold X tickets, but then he sold 3 more. Right? On day 3, he sold the same amount as the previous day, but then 3 more. So that means that he have X plus 6. On the 4th day, he sold the X plus 6 again, same amount as the previous day, but then he sold 3 more, giving you X plus 9. On the 5th day, he sold the same X plus 9, but then 3 more, giving you X plus 12. Now, he sold X tickets on the first day, X on the second, X on the third, fourth, and fifth. So that is 5X he sold in all. And then 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12. 6 and 3 is 9, and 9 is 18. 18 plus 12 is 30. So that is 5X plus 30 is equal to what? 40 tickets he sold in all, right? So this is how much tickets he sold total, and over all the 5 days. So we could see here that 5X is going to be equal to 40 minus 30, which is 10, and X is going to be equal to 10 divided by 5, which is 2. Anybody have any problems with this little piece here? So we could see that X is equal to 2. Now we could go and find out, well, how much did he sell on the third day? Well, X is equal to 2. So 2 plus 6 is 8 on the third day. And how much did he sell on the fifth day? Well, X is 2. So 2 plus 12 is 14. So what do they say? They say, what is the ratio of the number of tickets sold on the third day to the number of tickets sold on the fifth day? So the number of tickets sold on the third day was 8, and the number of tickets sold on the fifth day was 14. And just like a fraction, you reduce a ratio just like a fraction. So 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 14 is 7. That can reduce again. So the answer is 4 to 7, which is B. Any questions with that one? Sabira, did you get the B?
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Which of the following sets, and remember this is being recorded, so you'll definitely get it in the Google Classroom. Which of the following sets is defined by And we have a little mistake here, I think. I don't know what this is. That looking like some sort of a little mistake. It's supposed to be x is an element of z, I think. Right? Such that, and the bracket's supposed to be here, right? And this, right? So x is between -2, and then you have 4 on the number line, and x is between -2 and 4. So that'll be, and because you have this equal sign here, means it will include the -2 and the 4. So this is the only thing that includes the -2 and the 4, and it counting all of the integers, -1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 4. The answer is D. If anybody wants me to explain it again, let me know. The set of positive integers that is divisible by 6. How many numbers in the universe are divisible by 6? The answer is infinite. You have infinite, because you could say the 6 times table to infinity, you know. So that is a infinite set. It's not an empty set, it's not finite, and it's certainly not an improper subset. There is no such thing as an improper set. You have improper subsets, right? We got a question just like this in the last paper, so you could see when it comes to papers, when it comes to questions being repeated, you could definitely see the number of elements in U is 25. So that's a universal set. So the universal set is a square. We go draw U25. A is 14. So this is A, which have 14 in it. B is 15. So this is B. We have 15. They say A union B is 23. So that means here, everything inside of this is A union B is 23. But it's 25 in the universal set. That means you're going to have 2 outside. Yeah? What is A intersect B? So they want to know what this is. And it's actually very easy. Remember, they practically give you the answer, right? You could see here that the number in B is 15. So that means that inside of this entire set here, you have 15. So if this entire thing gives you 15, right? If the whole thing gives you 23, then the amount that will be in here will be the 23 minus the 15. And that'll give you 8. So is 8 that gonna be inside here? If 8 is inside of here, 8 plus 6 will give you the 14. So that means that the intersection will have 6 in it. Right? The intersection will have 6 in it. And that means that 6 plus 9 will give you 15. Right? So this is the distribution here, and you can see that A intersect B will have 6. Any questions for this one? Let me know. You all could interrupt me anytime. Items 10 and 11 refer to the following Venn diagram, which shows the universal set U and 2 sets T and C that represent students in a class who play tennis and chess. You can see here all of the students who play chess, does also play tennis. All right, that is what we could see here. How many students play both games? Well, we have these 2 students here that play in chess and tennis, so it'll be 2. And remember, all you're not ticking, all you're shading. So just remember, it's just I not shading because shading just take me a little while to do. It's easier for me to just tick it. Remember, you shading, right? How many students play exactly one game? Well, that will be these four. 1, 2, 3, 4. They play tennis only. They don't play chess. And these outside don't play no games, right? So it'll have to be 4. Number 12, we actually got this question in the last paper. 30 students in May's class have either a dog or a cat. None have both. None have the two. So there will never be a situation like this where you have students that have both cats and dogs. Even though I have 2 cats and 2 dogs myself, so I have both, right? So you could tell that it's not going to have an intersection. All the students who have a cat also have a dog. That means that all of these students who have cats will also be in the dog section. So all of the students who have cats will also have dogs, right? The number of cats is 12, we see in here. The number of dogs is 16, so which means it'll have 4 that have dogs only, so that you'll get the 16 here. So 12 have cats, 16 have dogs, in which 12 have cats and dogs, right? And this Venn diagram over here is the only one that has the cats inside of the dogs. D. Consumer arithmetic, my favorite topic, right? At a bank, EC is 2.6 equivalent to US. So EC equals US. 2.6 equals 1. For every 1 US, 10 EC is deducted. 10 cents EC is deducted in an exchange fee. How much EC dollars will Leon receive if he exchanges 1,000 US? So 1 US is 2.6 EC. 1,000 US, I'll have to multiply by 1,000. 1, 2, 3. That is 2,600 EC. So if he changes 1,000 US, he'll get 2,600 EC if he just changing it just so. But we have an exchange for every $1. We have 10 cents, right? So that means that for $1,000 multiplied by 0.10, 1, 2, 3, means that he'll have 100 EC being deducted. And so this minus 100 will give you 2,500. Any questions for this one? A dress which costs $1,800 is being sold at a discount of 10%. The amount of the discount is, oh gosh, where's 10% of 1,800? Right? Zip, 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 zip. That is 180. The amount of the discount is 180. Right? You notice they did not ask you the price. A lot of people would go and take the 180 and minus it from the 1,800 to get the selling price after the discount. They didn't ask you for that. But you can see they had it here in case you made that mistake. So they're planning for you. Number 15. If 7,000 is borrowed at a rate of 5% per annum for 3 years, the simple interest would be, there is only one thing I know about simple interest. It is principal by rate by time over 100, which will give me the principal is 7,000 by rate, which is 5, by the time, it must be in years, all over 100. So now we have 70 multiplied by 5 trees are 15. Maybe I could do 70 multiplied by 5. So 7 5s are 35, right? So that'll be 350 multiplied by 3. That's 0, 5 trees are 15, 3 trees are 9, and 1 is 10. $1,050 would be the simple interest. An article bought for $125 was sold for $100. The loss as a percentage of the cost price. So you always take the loss. You buy it for $125, you sell it for $100, you lose $25. So the loss all over the original cost price, right? This is how you get a loss percent or you get a profit percent. The loss over the cost price, or if they ask you for profit percent, it'll be the profit over the cost price, the original. So that is why they say the loss as a percentage of the cost price. So you put it over the cost, multiply by 100 over 1. This will be 1 over 5, which will give me 20%. So it's a 20% loss. The cash price of a television set is $350. When bought on hire purchase, a deposit of $35 is required plus 12 monthly payments of $30 each. How much is saved by paying cash? Well, 12 trees are 36, right? So that is 36, 360 plus 35. So which is 395. We got this exact question in the last paper, and if anybody does remember, so you could see here that you will save, minus 350, you'll save $45 if you buy it cash. Number 18, if the simple interest on $900, so this is your principal, at 4%, this is the rate, for T years, they don't have the time, is if the simple interest is this. So this is actually a simple interest. So remember, simple interest is equal to, and I'll just write it the other way, and you'll see why. Principal by rate by time over 100. That is the simple interest. So your principal is 900 by the rate, which is 4, by the time, which is small t, all over 100 is equal to 108. I could see that this will cancel with this, and I actually don't have to multiply the 9 and the 4 yet, because I could see that if I throw across the 9, 4t is going to be 108 divided by 9, which thankfully Sharice taught me how to divide. So 9 into 10 is 1, and then you'll have 1 remaining, and then 9 2s are 18, so that is 12, and then you could throw across the 4. So you didn't have to go 9 4s at 36 and then try to divide 108 by 36 and catching your tail, no. Right? You could have divided by the 9 first, and then 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the answer is 3 years. Let's see and be right back. All right, Samaya. All right. At the end of any year, a car is worth 5% less than it was in the beginning of the year. If a car is worth 19,000 in December 2021, then its value, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. No, it's not a mistake. 2021. All right. So then its value in January 21 was, right? So it worth less. It worth 5% less. So how could we get this? Anybody can help me with this? How could we get this? 19,000 is 5% less. So that means that 19,000 represents 95% of the cost is 19,000. 95% of the original value will be 19,000.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's the same thing I do it. That's exactly the same thing I do it. 95% of X. And so you can see that when you throw across the 100, it will be 19,000 times 100 divided by 95. This is the correct thing. But my problem here is working it out without a calculator. So yeah, you can actually just do the divide, man. 119,000, and then you have two more zeros divided by 95, right? So 95 can't go into 19, 95 could go into 190 twice, right? So you can see 95 could go into 190 twice, right? So 95 times 2, 5 2s are 10, and 9 2s are 18, and 1 is 19. Well, look at that. 95 go into 190, and I have my zeros left. Yeah. I guess sometimes you just kind of have to do it the long way. A man's regular pay is $8 per hour up to 40 hours. All right? So 8 per hour times 40 hours. 4 it's a 32, right? So that's $320. Right? $8 per hour for 40 hours. Okay. Overtime is twice the payment for regular time. If he was paid 480 hours, how many hours? So he was paid 480. Right? That means that he make $160 overtime. So overtime is $160, right? Overtime is twice the payment for regular time. So regular time is $8 per hour. Overtime is twice that. So overtime will be $16 per hour. So if he working $16 per hour and he get $160, that is 10 hours overtime he worked. So the answer is 10. Any questions? Feel free to stop me. Please do not leave until you get your name on the roll, right? 7 times the product of two numbers, A and B, may be written as. So the product means you're multiplying these two numbers, A times B. You know multiplication glues numbers together, so I could write that as AB. And then they say 7 times. So 7 times the product. Multiplication glues numbers together. So 7AB is the answer. We're talking about algebra fractions here. 1 over 2x plus 1 over 3x. I taught you one way to do fractions. All fractions, whether it's algebra or not. When you're adding fractions, you multiply your denominator. So that'll be 2x multiplied by 3x. Right? Then you cross multiply. So 1 times 3x is 3x over here. I have a plus sign. I have 1 times 2x is 2x over here. So you can see I'll have 5x in the numerator. In the denominator, I'll have 2 3s are 6x squared. And you see that they have the 5x over 6x. Oh no, they have 5 over 6x. Oh no, look. I forgot to simplify it, right? Because this x could go into one of these x's. So you'll have 5 over 6x. So yeah, B really was the answer. Any questions? Let me know. What is the value of that ugly looking thing if x is 4 and y is 2? So whenever I see x, I put in 4. Whenever I see y, I put in 2. So that'll be 4 squared plus 3 times 2 all over 4 times 2. 4 4s are 16 plus 3 2s are 6 all over 4 2s are 8. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 over 8. 8 2s are 16, 8 3s are 24. Yeah. So 8 2s are 16, 17, 18, 8 2s are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 6 over 8, which will be 2 and 2 3s are 6, 2 4, 2 and 3/4. Yep, D. Then x is, so I have to solve for x here. So if you notice, 5 into 2x minus 1 is equal to 35. A lot of you all might have wanted to expand the brackets, but you don't have to expand the brackets. You could just carry the 5 across. Right? So 7. So I'll have 2x minus 1 is equal to 7. 2x is going to be equal to 8, which is 7 plus 1. And then x will be equal to 4, which is 8 divided by 2, D. And I know I'm going through these things quickly, so please, I'm trying to finish it within the hour and a half. So please let me know if you want me to explain anything again. John has X marbles and Max has twice the amount, twice as many John has. So John have X and Max have twice the amount. Max has twice as many marbles as John, so 2x. Max gives John 5 of his marbles. So that means that Max will lose 5 and John will gain 5. How many marbles does John now have? X plus 5. This is an interesting one. If 3 operation 6 is 12 and 2 operation 5 is 9, then A operation B may be defined as. In this question, I would have to take, I don't know if it was Kayla who just said it, but I would have to take that trial and error thing, right? So imagine if you have 4 into B minus A. Will this work for both of them, right? That is it. You're looking for the operation that will work for both of them, right? So if A operation B, this is A operation B. So you're taking the 3 as A and the 6 as B. So this will be 4 into 6 minus 3, which is 4 times 3, which is 12. So it works for this one. Does it work for this one? 4 into, this will be A and this will be B. So A is 2, B is 5. 5 minus 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3, which is 12. So you didn't get 9. So it worked for the first one. You were supposed to get 9 for the second one, but we didn't. So it's not the first one. Let me check the second one real quick. A squared minus B. So for the first one, A is 3 squared, and the second one is B, which is 6. So 3 3s are 9 minus 6 is not 12. So it's definitely not the second one. The third one, 6, and A is 3, minus B is 12. B is 6, sorry. I see in 6 here for B. So 6 3s are 18 minus 6 is 12. So it does work for the first one. Does it work for the second one? 6A, which is 2, minus B, which is 5. 6 2s are 12 minus 5 is not 9. So it doesn't work for the second one. So we're running out of the things here, boy. Let me just hope it works for the fourth one, otherwise we'll be in craziness. So 2A plus B. Let me try the first one. A is 3. So 2 3s are 6 plus B is 6. That does give me 12. So it works for the first one. Let me see if it works for the second one. 2 times A, which is 2, plus B, which is 5. So 2 2s are 4 plus 5 is 9. So yes, the second one, D, it works for the first problem. If you plug these two numbers into here, you will get 12. And if you plug these two numbers into it, you will get 9. So it is D. Anybody who need me to explain this one again? Just say so. If A is this big ugly looking matrix here, then the order of A is, well, we look at the rows first. 1 2 3 rows by 1 2 3 4 columns. So it's a 3 by 4 matrix, which is C. Hey, we reach almost half already. That's good. Maybe we'll get out of here before time, right? The determinant of this, well, I know I have to multiply 5 times 8, which is 40, and then minus it from 7 6s. Where's 7 6s? 42. So the answer is -2. That is the determinant of that. Please do not leave unless you get your name in the roller. A little lucky I didn't make all you do this, you know. Refers to the following vectors, P and Q. So I see P, I see Q here. They want the vector P minus Q. So P minus Q. That means I'll have P, which is 3 7, minus Q, which is -2 5. That means that I'll have 3 minus -2, and I'll have 7 minus 5. So you can see that this is a plus, so 3 minus minus, this will become a plus. So 3 and 2 is 5, is not a fraction, and then 7 minus 5 is 2, 5, 2, the answer is C. Vectors, right? Refers to the following diagram of OLM. I think we pretty much got the same question, in which R is the midpoint, and I see an R here being the midpoint of OL. So if R is the midpoint of OL, then the entire OL will be seen as 2A, because I see in this little thing is A, right? And T is the midpoint of OM. So if T is the midpoint of OM, well, the entire OM will be 2B. Because if this is B, and this will be B as well, because this is the midpoint, right? RM, expressed in terms of A and B. RM. So if I want to drive from R to M and the road blocked, I will drive from R to O and then from O to M. R to O going in this direction will be minus A. So I could say here RM will be equal to RO plus OM. RO is minus A plus OM is 2B, so we will get 2B minus A, which is the first one. Given that 1 millimeter is 1 over 1,000 meters, so 1 millimeter is 1 over 1,000th of a meter. So 2,500 millimeters will be, oh God, 2,500 divided by 1,000. .5 meters. Let me know if anybody wants me to explain anything. The volume of a cube whose edge is 10 centimeters. So it's a cube, and we're talking volume. So we have, this is a cube. And if this is 10, this is 10, and this is 10, we are talking about 1,000. So 10 by 10, the base, by the width, by the height. 1,000 centimeters. Wait. Oh, look, I have a typo here. You're seeing it? All of these are centimeters squared. But it should be centimeters cubed, eh? Because it's 10 cm by 10 cm by 10 cm. So it should be centimeters cubed. So it does have a typo in the question. Thankfully, that's the only 1,000 it have there. 33. At a party, the number of guests were served 15 liters of champagne. This is a question. Do you see this question here? This question is coming for your paper. So we did not see this question in the January. We didn't see this question in the January. We seen it in the June, but we didn't see it in the January. This question has come in every other paper. So most likely you'll be seeing this, right? At a party, a number of guests were served 15 liters of champagne. All right, so I have 15 liters total. Each guest, and this time I give me a headache, all right? So I just take it off that light. Each guest had 2 glasses of champagne, and each glass held, so one glass holding 150 milliliters, right? So I'll just remember that 1,000 milliliters is 1 liter, right? Assuming no spillage, how many guests were at the party? A number of guests were served 15 liters of champagne. Each guest, so we don't know how much guests, but each guest had 2 glasses of champagne, which means each guest, how much guesses, had 350 milliliters. So 350 milliliters multiplied by the, no, not 350, 300, sorry, milliliters multiplied by the amount of guests will give you 15 liters. So let me change this to liters, right? So that means that 1 milliliter is 1 over 1,000. So that means that 300 milliliters will be 300 over 1,000, which will be 0.3, right? So 0.3 liters multiplied by X is what gave me 15 liters. So now X will be 15 divided by 0.3, which we will see is 50 guess. Refers to the following diagram of a trapezium. I can see the only thing I know about a trapezium is that the area of a trapezium is a half A plus B multiplied by the perpendicular height. That's the only thing I know. The area of the trapezium is this. So they gave me 65. What is the height? Then the height H is but this is the height, right? So this probably our next typo. They probably meant to put H over here instead of putting 5. All right, so let me check it. Let me just see if they have 8 centimeters there, right? Then the height is, right? So anybody who did this, Sibiria, did you notice these typos and these little problems in the paper?
No, sir. I saw H there.
You swear you saw a H there? All right, so yeah. Well, I'm guessing it's probably supposed to be H, right? So let me see, a half into A, which is 8 plus 18, that is the sum of the parallel sides, multiplied by H. So I could take the 65 and multiply it by 2. So 5 2s are 10, 6 2s are 12, and 1 is 13. So 130 is going to be 18, and 2 is 20, and 6 is 26H. So I'll have to take the H to be 130 divided by 26, right? And doing this in your brain, well, 26 can't go into 13. So how much 26's will go into 130? Well, I know in terms of 25, you know, you have 4 25's in 100. Right? And then you'll have another 25 to give me 125. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 25s is give me 125. So if I had 26 now, let me try 26 multiplied by 5. 26 multiplied by 5. 6 5s are 30. Yeah, I get a 0 at the end. Right? And 5 2s are 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, is 5. You see how I kind of use a visual way to kind of reason it out? Because I really hate mental arithmetic. Mental arithmetic was never my strong point. Believe it or not. You could be good at maths whilst being horrible at mental arithmetic, yeah? And that is because when I was at a young age, I never got the practice with mental arithmetic. Okay. The perimeter of a square is 56. So that means I have a square. The perimeter is 56. That means that one side of the square will be 56 divided by 4. 4 into 5 is 1 with 1 remaining. 4 4s are 16. So 14 centimeters. Right? What is the area? So the area of the square will be 14 multiplied by 14. I could go 14 multiplied by 10 plus 4. So 14 multiplied by 10 is 140. And 14 multiplied by 4. 4 4s are 16. 1 4 is 4. 1 is 5. Oh yeah, so 140 plus 56, 691, 196 in centimeters squared. Let me know if you're having any problems. The distance around the edge of a circular pond. So you have the circular pond and the distance is 88 around. So that means the circumference is 88. The radius in meters is what? Well, we know circumference is 2 pi r, right? So 2 pi r is equal to 88, which is the circumference. So the radius is going to be 88 divided by 2 pi. I could see 2 into the 88 will give me 44 over pi. Look at here, C, 88 over 2 pi. So thankfully they didn't want us to, you know. Number 37 refers to the following diagram, which shows a compound shape that consists of a triangle of height 4 centimeters resting on a square. What is the area of the triangle? All right, no, they say if the area of the triangle is 14 centimeters, so this is 14 centimeters squared, the area of the triangle. What is the area of the compound shape? Well, if the area of the triangle, they didn't ask you to find the height or nothing? Or they tell you the height, the area, a height of 4 centimeters, and look, they put H here. Alright, so they're telling you the height is 4 centimeters. If the area of the triangle is 14 centimeters, right? So they're giving me the area of the triangle here is 14 centimeters. Did they say it's resting on a square? Well, if it's resting on a square, I don't think, do you think this, I don't think this 7 is supposed to be there, right? Now, this paper does have some errors, and that is because, the reason why this paper has errors is because this paper, you remember paper ones are really hard to get. Sometimes you'll get a normal leak, yeah, like how when the paper leaks after the exam and everybody gets it. This particular year, the leak that came was a very bad leak. The person who leaked the paper, because these papers are not legal to have, you're not supposed to have these papers, but the person that leaked the paper, it was just really badly, you know, you could hardly make out everything. Things was fuzzy and wonky and stretchy, and so a teacher friend of mine actually did the job for her class of typing over these questions one question at a time, right? So this is why it doesn't look like a normal paper one. So this paper was typed over, and so I do not think that, but it looked like it had the 7 though, because this is an easy question then, because if this area is 14, yeah, they tell you that area is 14. The area of the triangle is 14. What is the area of the compound shape? Well, I mean, if they really give you the 7, then 7 times 7, because it's a square, so this area here will be 49. And so the area of the compound shape will be 14 multiplied by, no, not multiply, plus 49. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And 4 and 1 is 5 and 1 is 6, 63. However, I would have think that they would have give you this with a height h, and then they would have tell you this is a square, and they wouldn't have give you the side here, and they would have tell you the area of this is 14. And they told you the height is 4. Yeah, so they tell you the height is 4. The area is 14. So that means you would have had to use a half base by height is equal to 14 to find the base. So that is a half of 4 times the base, right? Because the height is 4, right? Is 14. So that is 2b is 14, and you see you get b to be 7, right? And so when you find the base is 7, then I think this is supposed to really be the question. I don't think this 7 is supposed to be here, but because that's way too easy. It's way too easy. Let me know if you have any questions though. Yeah, so this paper, out of all, because all of the other papers that I have came directly from CSEC, this is the only paper that was typed over, so we might have to suffer with a couple of typos, right? On leaving Trinidad, the time on a pilot's watch was 2300 hours, right? 2,300 hours is 11 o'clock in the night, if you didn't know. When he arrived in the same time zone on the next day, his watch showed 3 point, yeah, like pretty much 300 hours, right? So from 11 o'clock in the night, 12, 1, 2, 3. So that is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. That's 4 hours. Right? If the average speed of the aircraft for the entire journey was that, then the distance covered, remember, is just one formula. Speed is distance over time, right? So we want the distance. So the distance is going to be the speed multiplied by the time. So which is 625 multiplied by 4 hours, right? 5 fours are 20. 4 twos are 8, 9, 10. 6 fours are 24, and 1 is 25. 2,500 kilometers. So speed is equal to distance over time. That is pretty much the only, when it comes to the speed time graph thing, that is the only formula you really need to know. Ms. Clark arranged the test of 15 scores of her students in order of size. So in order of size would mean ascending or descending, and selected the 8th score for reporting purposes. Which of the following statistical measures did Ms. Clark obtain? Did she obtain the mean, the mode, the range, or the median? Well, you know it would be the median, right? Because the median is the only thing where you need to put it in in ascending order. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 test scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the one in the middle. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so it will be the median, the one smack in the middle. Items 40 and 41 refer to the diagram which shows, we might finish quite early because we already reached 40, so we have 20 more to go, which shows the cumulative frequency curve based on marks of 200 students who took a test. So I can see the 200 students here, and these are the marks. How many students scored at most 45 marks? So 45 marks here, and that carries me to about here, which carries me to about here. So if this is 160, then this will be 180. So that means that each one of them is 4 maybe, right? 160, 164, 168, 172, 176, yeah. So this here would probably count to 160, 164, maybe 165. But look, I see in here 166. But they say at most. So how many students scored at most? So for the most, they scored 45. So that means that for the most means they scored 45, the end score higher. So we're looking for these students here. So yes, these students would be 165. If they had said at least, that would be a different story. At least 45 would have meant that they would have scored 45 or more. So it would have been these students here, which would have been the 200 minus 166, which would be a little bit of students. All right, so be careful with those words. The median mark scored by the 200 students, well, I know how to find a halfway of 200. Halfway of 200 is 100, which I believe is about here. 80, 100, 120, 140, yeah? So if I come, so this is the Q2, and so if I come down here, and I come down here, it should be between 30 and 40. Let me see, around 37. It should looking like, yeah. They have 37 here. So around 37-ish. Right? In a box are, and this is one that you might get for your paper in a couple of weeks' time. In a box, there are 8 red, 7 blue, and 6 green marbles. I think I gave you all this exact question when we were doing probability. Yeah, when we were doing probability, right? One marble is picked at random. So I have 8 red, I have 7 blue, and I have 6 green, right? One marble is picked randomly. What is the probability that it is neither blue nor red? Well, if it's not blue or red, right? So they're asking you, what is the probability that it is not blue or red? So that is pretty much asking you, what's the probability that you get a green one? Yeah. If they're asking you, what's the probability that you're not getting a blue, neither blue or green is what they said. Nobody had tell me nothing. I wonder if anybody paying attention, boy. Anybody actually there? Isaiah, you there?
Yes, sir.
Is neither blue. Yes, Adi. Adi asking a question? All right, yeah. What is the probability that it is neither blue nor green? So I don't want blue, I don't want green. So that means that they're asking me what's the probability of getting a red. Getting a red is 8 out of, what is 8
22.
plus 7 plus 6. So it have 21 balls in total. The probability of getting a red is 8 over 21. The answer is A. Right? 15 questions in 10 minutes. What do you think? Refers to the following pie chart, which shows the popular games played by 720 students. Are you going to get this question too? Because I didn't see this question in the January, right? So 720 students is the total pie chart. How many students played cricket? So cricket is this that we don't know. We know this is 90 degrees. We know this is 36 degrees. We know this is 30%. So I'll have to find how much degrees. So 30% is 30 over 100 multiplied by 360 over 1. So that gives me the fraction in terms of degrees. So this
108 degrees.
This, how much? 108?
Yes, sir.
And it does look a little more than 90-ish. So if this is 108 degrees, then you'll have 360. So you'll have the 108 plus 90 plus 36. And that given me 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 1 is 13, and 1 and 1 is 2. So this is 234 degrees in total. So how much degrees for cricket? So for cricket,
26 degrees.
yeah, is 360 minus 2. Stop trying to walk so fast. Right, it will.
126.
Yeah, it will be 6. 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. So this will be 126 degrees. Right. So 126 degrees is the fraction of the pie chart, which is a fraction of the whole. And I wouldn't delete that. I'll just make it small. Oh, hate that. I'll just make it small and put it over there. Right? So if this is 126 degrees, what I need to find is 126. This is the fraction of the whole multiplied by 720 over 1. So this 36 and 22, they can go into each other, right? That might be 1 and 2, and 6 2s are 12, yeah. And 2 3s are 6 and 1 is 7. So 36 into 36, 1. 36 into 72 is 2. So it'll be 126 multiplied by 2. 6 2s are 12. 2 2s are 4. 1 is 5. 1 2 is 2. 252. Our trying to go with time means, because I'm actually trying to do it and explain it and do it within the time. And, that will take, I guess I'm not finishing in 10 minutes. Refers to the following two-way table, which shows the mode of transportation to school on a particular day for a group of 200 students. A student is picked at random from the group. What is the probability that the student is a male who traveled to school by taxi on that day? So as seen here, I have the totals for all of them. So the males who traveled by taxi is 50. Yeah. So you have males who travel by taxi is 50. So it'll be 50 out of the total, which is 200. 5 into 5 is 1. 5 4s are 20. The answer is a quarter. (45) The point where a linear function crosses the vertical axis. We got this exact question last class. It is the y-intercept, right? The equation of the line that crosses the vertical axis at the point 0,5. So if I have a line and has a gradient of 4, notice it's positive 4. So that means the line gonna be shaped this way and it cutting at 0,5. So that means that 5 is here. The gradient is 4. So the equation will be 5 is equal to m x plus c, which is c. 4x plus 5, sorry. If anybody want me to explain that one, remember all lines are of the form mx plus c, and so m is the gradient, so they tell you the gradient is 4, and c is the intercept on the y-axis, so it crosses the vertical y-axis at 0,5. So that means this is 5 here, so that means this will be 5 here. Which of the following graphs represents a linear function? I mean, A, right? Certainly not C, certainly not D. And even though B is a line, it is...
B is undefined, so A.
Where's that?
Say B is undefined.
It's not that B is undefined, but B is not a function. It is a line, but it is not a function. Yeah? What is a function? Right? A function is where you have, like, let me just say I have 3x plus 2, right? A function is when I put in a digit for x, right? Whether I put x to be 1 or 2 or 3, when I put in one input, I will get one output. That is what a function means. So in this case, let me just say x is always 3. No matter what I put, no matter what I have for y, x will always be 3. So that kind of messing up this whole input-output thing. Because no matter the value for y here, x will always be 3. Right? So, so you had to know about functions. But a linear function, definitely A. 48 refers to the following graph of a quadratic function. The coordinates of the turning point of the function is this here, is the turning point, which is 2, 4, which is D. The line L is parallel to this line. What is the gradient of the line L? Well, the first thing I had to do is put this in the form mx plus c, right? So I have here 3x minus 7y minus 9 is equal to 0. If I throw this across and I throw this across, I'll have minus 7y is equal to negative 3x plus 9. If I throw this negative 7 across, y will be negative 3x all over negative 7 plus 9 all over negative 7. I don't really care about this. Is this I'm looking at here? You'll see that these two negatives will cancel. So y will be 3 over 7x. Right? Or 3x over 7 if you prefer that. Yeah? Now, you can see here the gradient of this line, right, is 3 over 7. What is the gradient of the line L is parallel to this line? The gradient of the line L, well, they say parallel. So parallel will have the same gradient, which is this. Yeah? This one here will be perpendicular, because if this is the gradient of one line multiplied by the negative inverse, will give you minus 1. So these are perpendicular. But they didn't ask for perpendicular. They say the line L is parallel to this line. What is the gradient of the line L? Parallel lines have the same gradient. That is why they're parallel, because they have the same gradient, right? What is the g of negative 6? So I'll just have to put negative 6 wherever I see x minus 3 divided by 5. So 7 6s are 42. That is negative 42. Oh gosh. So that'll be negative 45 all over 5, which will give me negative 9a. Give me a second. As soon as we almost done. I'm running out of time earlier. I go fail. I have 1 minute to do 10 questions. I hope earlier don't get put in this position, right? So it looked like I had to go over time by a couple of minutes. 51. Which of the following best describes this function over here? I see 2 map onto 5. The only way I could go from 2 to 5 is if I take the x and I add 3. So that'll get me from 2 to 5. 5 to 8, yeah, 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 3 is 14. So x plus 3 will give you y. So y is equal to x plus 3 righty. The range of the function f of x maps on to x cubed for this domain is, right? So remember range and domain. The range is y. The domain is x, right? So for this domain, when x is negative 2, when x is negative 1, when x is 0, when x is 1, when x is 2, this is the domain, right? And then you're taking the x and you're putting it through the function. The function is x cube, and that will give you y, because y is equal to x cube. So 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8. This will be negative 8. It's a cubed, because negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So all of these negatives will be negative, right? So negative 1 times 1 times 1, this will be negative 1. You're done seeing the answer there. This will be 0. This will be 1. This will be 2 2s are 4, 2s are 8. This is your answer. And you can see for those people who didn't realize that a cube will give you a negative answer. Not a square, but a cube. Any even number will give you a positive answer, but any odd number may give you a negative if the number is negative. refers to the following diagram of a transformation. I could see that this is a reflection. The transformation maps that to that is a reflection. Duh. Let me see. R to R prime, P to P prime, Q to, yep. Which of the following polygons does the sum of the measures of the interior angles equal to the sum of the measures of the exterior angles? Well, I know that all polygons, the exterior angles of all polygons does add up to 360. All polygons, even if you have a 20-sided polygon, the exterior angles will always add up to 360. But the only polygon where the interior angles does add up to 360 is your quadrilateral. So the quadrilateral is the only polygon where the interior angles will be 360 and the exterior angles will be 360. And so the interior angles are equal to the exterior angles. So when they say the measures of the exterior angles, it have to be 360 degrees. Once they say exterior, no matter the polygon, your exterior angles will always be 360. So I hope everybody understands that. If you're ashamed to say, you could always just message private and be like, say, explain that again. So number 55 again, you know. Refers to the following diagram which shows the straight line y is equal to negative x. Thank you very much. What is the image of the line y is equal to negative x when it is rotated anti-clockwise about 90 degrees? We got this question last time, but it was the other way around. All right, you'll get the line y is equal to x. 56 refers to the following translation of triangle ABC to this. We could definitely see is a translation, but what kind of translation is it in the diagram? The translation by which ABC is mapped onto ABC prime is represented by, all I need to do is choose one point. So this is the, you see how I was going to make a mistake here? I was going to go so. I was thinking that this is the object and this is the image, but no. Careful with that. It's going this way. This is the object and this is the image. And I just have to choose one point. So this is the point C. Go into the point C prime. You could see I'm going in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So because I'm going in this direction, it's actually negative 5 along the x. And because I'm going up 1, 2, 3, it'll be positive 3. So negative 5, positive 3, the answer is A. 57 refers to the following right angle triangle ABC. In the triangle angle BAC is 30 degrees, AB is 40 centimeters. The length BC in meters is, so they want this. This is the opposite. This is the hypotenuse. So obviously sine. So the sine of 30 is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So the opposite will be 40 multiplied by the sine of 30 if you throw the 40 across. 40 sine 30 is A. This is an enlargement, duh, with center O. What is the scale factor of the enlargement? Let me see. Triangle ABC here, this is the object, and then triangle A prime B, this is the image, right? Oh gosh, look, this side here is 2, this side here is 4, so you had to take this and multiply it by 2 to give you this, so the scale factor is positive 2, because this is the object, that is the image. You could never have a scale factor of a negative number. Right? To go the other way, you would have to divide by 2. So you can have a scale factor of a fraction. If you want to get smaller, your scale factor will be a fraction. If you want to get larger, it'll be a number. But you'll never have a scale factor as a negative. That's not possible, right? A plane is flying in the direction of 45 degrees. All right, so let me just say if this is north. Ooh, a bearings question. Wow. A plane is flying in a direction of 45 degrees. So the plane flying this way, 45 degrees. And changes course in a clockwise direction. So this will be the other north line. And over here it changes course to 135 degrees. So that'll be about so, where this will be 135 degrees, right? The angle through which the plane turns is, I think I read the question wrong. A plane is flying in a direction of 45 degrees, yes. It changes course, so this is where it would continue, go to 45 degrees, but it changes course in a clockwise direction to 135. If you're looking at it from the direction of the plane, from the perspective of the plane, and you turn so, then is a 90-degree angle you're making. So I'll go with B for that one. In a triangle PQR, P is X degrees and angle Q, so PQR. They say P is X degrees, angle Q, and this is another new one. These last three here are brand new questions that I've never seen before. All right, all of these rest of questions here are questions that are quite familiar, right? But these last three, I've never seen them before. In the triangle PQR, P is X degrees, Q is 2X degrees, and R is something that we don't know. What is the size of angle R? Oh gosh. Angle R will be 180 degrees minus these two. All right, so this is 2x plus x is 3x. So that's 180 degrees minus 3x. The answer is D.